What happens when bossy people meet crazy family stuff? Or when being sick becomes a way to control people? And when telling your husband to go away becomes the best part of the show? Stay with us because this family mess makes reality TV look like a quiet day at the playground. And trust me, you're going to want to see how the biggest problems blow up in the craziest ways. We have so much to talk about today, so let's not waste time. Let's jump right into it. This one is special. Christine was sassy, but I am too. When Kody says she can't travel, that's amazing. And then Janelle telling Kody to go away, that's the best entertainment. Plus Robyn says she had lots of marriage offers. Let's be real, where's the proof? The episode where Garrison and Gabe fight with Kody during the virus time is really good. Kody tries to explain his strict virus rules by saying he couldn't take care of Janelle if she got sick. Garrison right away says he would take care of her no matter what. Gabe won't stay away from Christine, who's like his main mom. He fights back when Kody says Christine became mean after they moved from Vegas. Spoiler, Janelle did get sick and Kody did not take care of her. Remember when Kody told Janelle to cut her trip short to pick up medicine for him during his fake virus time? With Aurora, she was healthy and there. It was clearly a power move away to control her. That demand was crazy. Whether the trip was an hour away or needed a plane, it was not fair. If Janelle did it, she lost out. If she didn't, Kody used it against her. Also, there are lots of delivery options, so the whole thing was just manipulation. Christine even asked Kody if Janelle would be allowed in the house or just drop off the medicine. When Kody said it was just a drop-off, Janelle didn't go. Kody's big claims about his fever were just acting. The scenes with Kody and Robyn during this time are awful. His whining and her boring answers make it impossible to watch without feeling embarrassed. Janelle saying no and the laughing that came after said it all. The fever he talked about wasn't even high enough to worry about. Kody being jealous that the kids wanted to spend holidays with Christine instead of him was another great part. It's clear he's mad that the original 13 kids don't worship Robyn as the favorite mom. The times when Gabe and Garrison stand strong with their mothers are some of the best. The relationships between siblings, especially between the original 13 and their mothers, show deep family stuff. The famous RV trip with the sewer problem perfectly showed how Kody won't take blame. He blamed his teenage son instead. He's the king of shifting blame, always the victim, never wrong. The moving episodes, especially the crazy moves to Vegas and Flagstaff, were comedy gold. The families were so fed up that they left Robyn and Kody to handle unpacking alone. The Flagstaff move was a disaster even though they had lots of time to prepare. Kody's attitude during Issa's surgery was confusing considering all the family and nanny help he had. His priorities were clearly mixed up. Robyn's claim of lots of marriage offers sounds fake given her debt, children, and history. The idea that she tried to trick Kody with such stories is obvious. Her image as a victim didn't fool anyone. The business plan episode where Kody and Robyn pitch a $2 million jewelry line is painfully awkward. They're clearly bad at it, and their sales at the street jeweler show were terrible. Robyn's French manicure was a small bright spot. The commitment ceremonies, the cardboard boat race, and vacation episodes show different family styles and the unique ways of each wife and their children. The no-look high-five between Hunter and Logan after coming in second is still a memorable moment. Despite all the chaos and problems, the show gives us interesting, if embarrassing, looks into a complicated family. They say family sticks together through everything, but what if the most toxic person thinks he holds everyone together? Here's the real story behind Kody's bitter fight and why the original family is better off without him. There he stood at the grave, shocked, angry, and finally realizing the original family still exists and does well without him. The world keeps moving, and guess what? He's not the sun or even a planet in that orbit anymore. That's the real reason for his anger. The original family loves, supports, and enjoys each other's company. Meanwhile, Kody is meant to live out his days alone, holding onto his victim thoughts like a security blanket, just as his brother-in-law warned in the speech. His brother-in-law's words weren't praise, they were asking Kody to feel sorry, not that he cares. He waits for his kids to come back begging for forgiveness, but these kids are strong. They're living their truth now, and they won't let him push them around again. He's the one blocking peace, and he's perfectly fine with that. Classic Kody, sitting back, pouting, waiting for the family to come to him. He even admitted feeling upset about their gatherings, saying they meet just to make him jealous. Spoiler, they probably just like being around each other without his drama. Those family traditions he takes credit for, most came from the original Three Wives upbringing. Kody was the muscle who showed up sometimes, not the mastermind. He's convinced those traditions revolve around him, but he was just there when they happened. Remember when he said Thanksgiving with Robyn's family was nice because it wasn't so loud? Translation: he traded lively, chaotic love for quiet obedience. Speaking of Robyn, she's facing a reality check. If she leaves, it won't be over polygamy, it'll be when the money runs out. Kody's money-making hustle is dead, and without a career or skills, her options are limited. Maybe going back to the group as someone's extra wife or trying to make ends meet in their messy mansion. Meanwhile, the original Three Wives and their kids keep moving forward, healing and growing, maybe even worthy of their own show. Kody's contribution? Angry interviews, badly fitting suits, and a desperate need to beat his exes at the cost of his relationship with his children. This is a man who thought digging a grave would earn him applause instead of thinking about himself, who believes flexing his muscles in a funeral suit shows emotional depth, who dramatizes a dream at a memorial and expects standing ovations. He's no longer the head of the family. He's the guy yelling at the door while everyone else laughs and heals inside. And he doesn't have a clue why everyone's acting like this. This episode was just sad, but what if the real heartbreak isn't just about losing a child? What if it's about decades of betrayal, neglect, and family drama that no one wants to talk about? Today we're unpacking the brutal truth behind the tears. Peden wrecked me. Chanel wrecked me. Logan comforting his mom wrecked me. And Mary God, Mary wrecked me too. She looked so heartbroken but didn't get the comfort of everyone gathering around her. That being alone, it's heartbreaking. Gabe looked awful, obviously hurt badly. I really hope he's getting the help he needs. I've always felt for Mary. She's the family outsider, which I relate to in some ways, except she actually seems good at making real friends unlike most of them. Still, seeing her standing alone while others grouped together was a punch to the gut. At the burial, she was on the edge of the group. Even Leon stood in front of her, not beside her. Afterward, Leon went off with the family, presumably not invited. I hope she at least had some private time with Leon. I noticed her quietly comforting Chanel with an arm around her. No matter what anyone says about Mary, no one can question her loyalty when it counts. She's been misunderstood and unfairly judged. She supported herself and part of the family, always kind despite being set up in that catfishing mess. She was so starved for love and understanding that she fell for it. Then Kody, who pushed her away to begin with, kept throwing it in her face. Pretty harsh when your own kid doesn't have your back. Leon honestly hasn't been kind either. They threw a tantrum over not having a full sibling when they were a teenager, showing no care for how hard that must have been for Mary. The episode where Mary tried to make things right after the catfishing was painful to watch. Sure, a kid might be mad at their mom for hurting their dad, but Leon's reaction was way over the line. Parents have the right to make relationship decisions without being punished by their children. Kids don't get to know every detail of their parents' romantic lives, and honestly, as adults, most of us don't want to know. Mary supported Leon when they came out, but when the catfishing story broke, Leon's anger dragged on and on. Leon's extreme reactions can be partly excused by teenage black and white thinking, but it still hurt. Kody should have helped handle the situation, but instead he jumped in with both feet piling on. Classic. Now about Kody, yes, I believe his grief is real. Losing a child, especially Garrison, would break anyone. And sure, I saw his brothers digging the grave and thought, that's a decent family moment, but then came Kody's speeches, and surprised they were all about him. His dream story, his sad songs. It was performance, not a single genuine moment about Garrison himself. It was about Daddy's pain and how much he suffered. Yes, grief is complex, but this wasn't just grief, it was a spotlight on Kody's ego. He turned away from Garrison when he needed him most. That heartbreak is soul-crushing, but it's also a result of years of neglect and distance. And now Kody carries the regret he earned. Uncle Tim summed it up perfectly: a mother's grief and a father's regret. His look at Kody was a direct call-out. What's truly sad is that Kody's response hasn't been growth or making up. No real effort to repair things with the original kids, just more distance and self-centeredness. And the optics of the family attendance: Robyn's kids only show up when cameras are rolling. That doesn't go unnoticed. Real life gets in the way for others, which is understandable, but this feels more like choosing appearances over being present. Christine sobbing at the grave: that wrecked me too. This episode was a gut punch. Real grief, real breaks, real people. Kody was heartbroken. Yes, but he also helped dig this grave long before the funeral. Those truths exist together. Grief doesn't excuse harm, it just proves the harm mattered. What if the guy who's supposed to be the family leader is actually the biggest problem tearing it apart? You won't believe how deep Kody's insecurity runs and how it's poisoning his relationship with his own sons. This isn't just family drama, it's a masterclass in how not to be a man. Stay tuned. Kody's inferiority complex is obvious once you look past his showing off and exaggeration. At the core, he's an extremely insecure man who knows his sons have become better men than he ever will be. Since they started showing signs of adulthood, mature thoughts, grown bodies, he's been competing with them quietly. Meanwhile, he's losing his hair, gaining a middle-aged belly, and likely facing the usual physical challenges of aging. His jealousy isn't just about them growing up, it's about their closeness with their mothers and each other. When he wanted Chanel to kick his sons out of her house, he acted like a jealous lover, putting them down in conversations, trying to make them feel less manly at every turn. Even in interviews at the funeral, it was clear he used his body to block Pedon from view, making himself as wide as possible. That hip-holding stance, pure intimidation. Sleeves rolled up and tight pants showing off a body he's probably worked hard on. It was almost funny, like watching someone try to scare a bear by looking bigger, except Pedon is a giant who could easily overpower him. In contrast, his sons showed maturity, compassion, and grace, consoling their mom and family, even offering Kody a hand, traits he neither understands nor can achieve. He knows they're better men, but instead of appreciating them, he has made them his rivals. This family drama will be analyzed for years, but the two who need the insight most, Kody and Robyn, lack self-awareness and feel unfairly criticized for loving each other. It's sad. A love that destroys your family is rarely true love. If Robyn truly loved him, she wouldn't stand by while the rest of his life falls apart. She should have been a bridge, not the cause of the family's breakdown. Mary's divorce and the original 3 wives paying off her debt set bad examples. She became used to everyone accommodating her, expecting the same from Kody's children. That won't end well. Kody was the perfect example of how not to be a man or father. The mothers of the original 3 wives deserve credit for raising mature, loving, and compassionate children. It's also important to note that their religious culture pushes out young men as they start competing for wives. Kody comes from generations that maintain patriarchal power by sidelining younger men who could challenge their authority. His attempt to block out Pedon is a classic example of subconscious alpha posturing, but good luck intimidating a 6'5", 250 lb man. Kody shows no real self-awareness. He demands accountability from everyone else but himself, a hallmark of narcissism. Even when he admits fault, it's often a joke or indirect blame on others. He genuinely believes he's the victim and that nothing is ever his fault. He likely sees his grown children as enemies or puppets of their mothers, which is absurd given how strong, loving, and accomplished those kids are. His admission that he's only guilty of not loving their mothers was a telling moment. He's clueless. At the funeral, when Logan offered to help him up and Kody rejected it, it was heartbreaking. Narcissists see any help as an insult. Kody needs to be the center of attention constantly and couldn't tone it down for one day of mourning. Real empathy and self-awareness are beyond his reach. There are signs Kody may be using steroids: the heavy brow, thick neck, gravelly voice, distended abdomen, and aggressive behavior, possibly to impress Robyn, keep up with the wives who left him, or try to appear intimidating to his sons. The tight pants and rolled-up sleeves were definitely show-off moves. It's also disturbing how Robyn's daughters are being groomed as the next sister wives, dressing in a way that seems inappropriate for their age. This entire situation screams narcissism born from deep insecurity. Narcissists don't recognize their flaws, they blame others. It's common for narcissistic fathers to compete with their sons, causing damage to the whole family. As for the urn burial, some families do bury urns, though many keep them at home or spread the ashes. That's more personal preference than anything else. In the end, Kody's behavior, blocking cameras, posturing like an alpha, rejecting help, shows he thinks he's the victim when he's really the reason his family is fractured. His sons, meanwhile, mourned openly and supported each other, showing emotional strength and healing. Peden's grief was especially moving. Kody is about 5 feet at best and clings desperately to his sense of manhood through macho posturing and possibly steroids. Meanwhile, his sons bring intelligence, courage, strength, and even great hair. In short, Kody is a textbook narcissist, completely unaware of his insecurities and flaws, blaming everyone else for the family's problems. That's why this family drama will be studied for years to come. Everyone thinks Kody's just a grieving father, but here's the ugly truth they won't tell you about: his narcissistic refusal to own up to his mistakes. I just wish Kody would do the unthinkable, actually say, "Yeah, I regret pushing him away when he really needed me," admit he made things worse, feel some grief over losing his son and the choices that led to it. But nah, that would require Kody to have a shred of humility or self-awareness, which, spoiler alert, he doesn't. Honestly, he seems like a textbook narcissist who can't say "I was wrong" even if it was tattooed on his forehead. Robyn's no saint either, always ready to hijack any moment of vulnerability he might accidentally show and turn it into her own spotlight. Remember those early seasons when Kody wasn't a total grump? He actually showed some emotional openness back then. Fast forward a few years, and it's all anger, resentment, and him playing the blameless victim like a pro. Sure, some people say he's incapable of reflection or accountability, but that's not 100% true. Remember the whole catfishing disaster? Kody actually told Leon to cut Mary some slack and admitted, wait for it, that he played a part in her needing outside attention because he was neglecting her. That rare glimpse of compassion and self-awareness was so out of character it practically broke the universe. But let's be real, it's the exception, not the rule. Wishing in one hand, Kody in the other, right? Because if he ever started unraveling that emotional mess, his fragile man-child ego would implode. Taking responsibility? He uses culpability like a buzzword, but it's not like he owns it. If you ask me, the only regrets he'll ever say on a tell-all are some version of "I wish Garrison hadn't pushed Robyn away" or "I wish Janelle hadn't turned the kids against me," probably both back-to-back with zero irony, reflection, and empathy. In a religion where the husband's anointing means he can hear directly from God, admitting you're wrong is basically heresy. He might have left the church, but those ego-driven behaviors are still very much intact. Religious psychosis is no joke, and don't get me started on his love for Robyn either. He's genuinely smitten, or he's just addicted to the ego boost she gives him by fawning over him non-stop. Honestly, all it took was someone calling him yummy to have him eating out of their hand. Gag, does he regret losing his family? Maybe, but he'd never admit it publicly. There's zero evidence he feels genuine remorse. It's all about protecting that fragile ego. Kody isn't about to take any blame. It's always someone else's fault, probably Janelle's fault that Garrison distanced himself, because of course in Kody's world, he can do no wrong. Watching Kody on screen, you see a man with few regrets and zero grasp on the lessons from Garrison's passing. Reflection, self-awareness, not in his vocabulary. He and his ilk, like sobs, are forever victims, never accountable, and for the record, blaming Kody for leading to this isn't fair either. Garrison made his own choices, struggled with untreated depression and addiction, and tragically had access to a loaded gun. It's a terrible situation, but ultimately no one else's fault. We're all responsible for our own actions. Still, I wonder why Garrison was so depressed and looking for comfort in all the wrong places. Oh, and just to throw it out there, I did hear Kody say by the fire pit with Robyn that all the coronavirus drama wasn't worth wrecking their relationship. So baby steps, let me know what you think in the comments. Don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe to my channel. I'll see you in the next video. Take care and much love to you all.